What are we going to look at today? How about marriage? Happy marriages in Shakespeare. There are some. Now, Romeo and Juliet didn't do too well. Kate and Petruchio, well, they seem content enough at the end of the play, but how much of her contentedness is based on the rather obvious premise that if she's nice, he won't act like a lunatic. And how much of it is based on, well, I actually like this man now. I think there's far too much of the first and not quite enough of the latter. There are really only two couples who seem to be just really suited to each other, really happy in their marriage. And both of the men are villains. They're not the good guys. These are not comedies. The comedies, you always have the feeling that, well, they're married and it's going to be horrible. But in two plays, we have two gentlemen, one based on a real person, the other fictional, and they do seem to be happily married. Do seem to be quite content with their wives, to love their wives. And their wives seem to love them. And those two, of course, are Claudius and Gertrude in Hamlet, and the Macbeths. Think about it for a minute. Hamlet literally begins with the happy couple, probably on their wedding day. And they love each other. Hamlet is convinced that his parents had the perfect marriage. His mother loved his father deeply, his father loved his mother. I'm not that sure. I've always had a feeling his mother liked her husband, perhaps, but really loved his brother. She certainly married him fast enough once her husband died. And what about Macbeth? They work well together. She may be a bit more ambitious than he is, but he listens to her. She advises him, doesn't always give him good advice, but of course we have to keep in mind that this is fiction, not reality. Because in reality, Macbeth didn't murder Duncan. He killed him, but he didn't murder him. He killed him in battle. No one questioned who killed Duncan. It was obviously Macbeth. And then he became king and reigned for 17 years. Much longer than Shakespeare seems to imply. And was generally accounted one of the better kings. Scotland did not rejoice when he was deposed. If anything, they may have gone into mourning. But of course, King James was descended from the winners of that particular battle. So they had to be the good guys. If you read Henry VIII, and I say read it because you're probably not going to see it performed, you'll find it makes Henry seem like a reasonably all right chap, and his little daughter Elizabeth certainly comes off well. Well, she would, wouldn't she? She was the queen when it was written. However, getting back to marriage. In The Taming of the Shrew, Petruchio marries Kate because he wants her, and he wants her money, a dowry. And his friends are bribing him to marry her because they want to marry Bianca. The one who ends up with her is already regretting it by the banquet, but, well, he got the pretty one, the amiable one, who seems to be somewhat less amiable once they're actually married. Petruchio got the wild and crazy one, the one who, in the old productions, used to run around with a whip. They both used to run around with whips. It always struck me as a little odd, but that's how they did it in those days. And she becomes a model of domesticity. Granted, probably a lot of Stockholm syndrome involved, but she, still she settles down. And there are those who suggest that she settles down not because he intimidates her, but because she realizes that, well, he may be crazy, but his particular form of crazy suits her particular form of crazy fairly well. Other happy couples, Romeo and Juliet, well, they both wind up killing themselves, don't they? Of course, she kills herself because she thinks he's dead, or the other way around. He kills himself because he thinks she's dead. She kills herself because he is dead. And everybody lives unhappily ever after. So that's our little Shakespeare thing for today. We'll have another shortly.